Your thoughts on investment portfolio allocations, stocks, bonds, alternatives. How do you achieve sustainable income and at what level of risk?
You know, Chris, one of the core things that many people think about first is asset allocation. But I would argue the first thing to think about is how do I build an income floor to take care of my basic expenses for at least part of my retirement period? And then move on to looking at the portfolio aspects. In distribution planning, it's also important to change from thinking about just how much risk I'm taking in my portfolio, but also how much risk am I taking in terms of my income.
Well, it's interesting being part of the Retirement Income Industry Association. What becomes clearer and clearer to me every year I come to a conference or we have ongoing dialogues during the year, looking at just investments defined as stocks, bonds, and alternatives, et cetera, it's not the complete picture. So we need to move beyond stocks and bonds and get into anything of value that individuals have.
From our standpoint, the sustainable income and having a well-balanced portfolio is really about the client. We tend to focus more on financial planning and trying to get to that answer, really getting to know the clients, understanding who they are as people, what they can and can't tolerate when it comes to risk. There's some different tools we use related to that. We do a lot of projection work on what does the future look like. Here's your budget today. Here's what it looks like in the future.
So rather than allocations, I take a step back and start with what strategy are you going to use? Are you going to use a total return portfolio with systematic withdrawals? We really like what's called asset liability driven investing or dedicated portfolio theory that typically involves traditional choices, index funds, individual bonds, CDs. We stay away from alternatives. I don't like the illiquidity. Once people reach 70 and a half, you have required distributions, and having illiquid investments doesn't work as well.
Yeah, I think the biggest opportunity for both advisors and for clients is to keep an open mind. The landscape for stocks, the alternative investments, the types of investments, how they're used, changes constantly. And the more people funnel into being pigeonholed into a specific belief system, challenges them from being able to use the things that are available that could be useful.